Good evening, everyone. So, thank you for joining today's class. We'll quickly start the class because okay. So, maybe you all can just mute, and when there is any question, you can ask so that the video recording is clear. Okay, can you all see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So last week we learned about the basic formulas and all, right? Sum, average, all these things. So today we will learn about a bit more advanced formulas. And also we will learn about some conditional formatting. Okay, it's also very interesting, especially for those who want to be in supervisor role. Some of these could be actually useful for you in your job. So later, when I teach that, I can tell you how you can use in your job. Okay, so that's the basic thing. Today we will learn about some advanced formulas in Excel and then formatting and conditional formatting. Okay, so we will use this worksheet for today's class. In the previous class, anybody have any doubt in the basic sum, average, all these formula before I start today's one?
For me, okay, sir.
How about Sohail? Last week class? Sohail? How about last week class? Any doubts you have?
Yes, sir.
Last week class, do you have any doubt? Last week lesson, do you have any doubt?
Last week lesson, no, sir.
Okay.
This thing I understand, but I no time to more do, sir.
Okay.
Because
Next month
very
you will
busy. Plus, yeah, maybe next I will try to give the homework because right now my boss go overseas already. That's why all the site is me control.
Okay.
We're so busy, sir.
Okay. Very important computer is need to practice, right? Then only you remember. If not, after some time we forget. So when you get time, please watch the video again and you practice. How about Mia Shakil and Mianuddin? Last week class, any doubts?
Yes, sir. Can highlight little bit last week class.
Okay, you want to
Just highlight 2 minute 1 2 minute. Just highlight only. Can remember. Yeah, I last minute no have. Maybe last 10 minute no have. I already go ready. I busy. Just remember only. That's all.
Okay, so last week we learned about using all the formulas.
Formula.
Right, average, how to find average, sum, count.
Average, sum, count.
Okay.
Count.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, county.
Okay. Just give me a second. Last week is this one. So we learned how to expand the table, about all these formulas.
Yeah.
Then we learned about the EMI, how to calculate the EMI. Then we learned about the plus minus bracket, what is the impact, and then the reference. So this is what we learned.
Yeah.
Okay, so this week we will learn about the advanced formula. Last week we learned only about sum, average, count.
Maximum,
If there is
minimum.
any condition, that
Yeah.
is what we will learn today.
Okay.
Okay, so we will move on to the Excel sheet. So assume now we have a grocery shop. So just imagine that you have a grocery shop, or you can in the plant context, you can imagine that maybe you are managing a store.
Yeah.
You have a store, you have or your PPE, maybe inventory you have.
Okay.
You can imagine this way. So maybe you have your maybe gloves. What is this? How much stock you have? How much is sold off? How much you issued? What is the balance?
Yeah.
You can imagine this way. Okay. So basically, if you see here, the first column, I have all the item description. Okay. Again, have all the item description. And what is the unit price of each item? In the third column, I have how much quantity I have. So for example, sunflower oil, maybe the big tin, 20-liter can, maybe this is the price. And how much cans, tins I have, maybe 100 cans I have. How much I sold off? I sold off 80 numbers. So if I sold off 80, what is the balance? Balance is, we use the formula to calculate. Total in hand minus sold, which is C5 minus D5. You see here, C5 minus D5. C is the total quantity, D is the sold quantity, balance is 20. What is inventory value? That means originally how much I have in stock. One tin of oil is $40. I had 100 piece. So the inventory cost is unit price into what is the quantity. So it is product of B and C, which is 4,000. And I sold 80 cans. So 80 times 40 is what I sold, which is a product of B and D. So this is the sales value. Okay. So this is how you have the setup here. So you just look at this. Okay. So previously we learned about if function. We did not learn about if function, sorry. So now here we will look at the if function, how we use if function. Now if you want to manage the stock, for example, if you think that, okay, this is the remaining stock, you calculated. Up to here, any doubts for anyone? Column E, F, G, how to calculate? Column E is you multiply the unit price with the total quantity. F is unit price with the sold quantity. Remaining stock is you minus that quantity from the sold quantity. Is this clear so far? Anyone?
Sir,
Yes.
can you show them the first column one, the
Will be
quantity,
very
how you set up this?
this column or this one?
Yeah, the first column.
This one is we have to key in. So for example, maybe you have, for example, gloves, maybe leather gloves, you put maybe $3. You have to enter manually. Maybe face shield, okay, maybe $10. So like that, you have to enter the unit price manually. This is manual. This is not formula. So this one you have to enter manually. This also you have to enter manually. Quantity also you have to enter manually. All these that is in white, we have to enter manually. We have to give the data. It's not calculated. Is it clear, Mia, Shakil?
Yes, sir, this one clear.
Okay. So only the yellow one is a formula. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So far, this 3 column, I believe is quite clear, right? So next we want to know when to order. For example, want to order when the quantity is less than 50. So you can use the if formula. You see here, if G5 less than 50, that means computer should tell you to say yes. If not, it will tell you no. Right. So maybe I want to reorder the oil can when the quantity is less than 50 cans. So now what is my quantity? I have only 20 cans. So the formula is equal to, if you double click, you see here, it says what is the format of the formula. Logical. If open bracket, what is the condition it needs to fulfill? What is the message need to display? If it is true, what is the value if it is false? So this is the if function. This is the formula of if. Okay, you see here now we have used if function. I will show you one more time. Equal to if open bracket. Okay, now if I say if the remaining stock, which is in G5, less than 50, I need to tell the message yes, reorder. If not, no. It tells me yes. I can also change this in another way. I delete now, I put you in another way. If the remaining stock is less than 50, I want a message this way. Instead of yes, I want need to reorder. If not, no need. You can put whatever message you want between the two codes. You see here. So the first if condition, what is the condition need to do? Check whether this column is less than 50. The computer checks it, and if it is yes, it will display the message which is in the quotation. You see there is a two code, open code, close code. So within this, any message you type, that will be displayed. And if it is false, this message will be displayed. So let's see here. You see now the same formula for here I use, but instead of yes, I used need to reorder, no need to reorder. So you can use this way. You understood? Do you understand, or you want me to repeat again?
No, sir, understood.
Okay. Mainuddin, you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So this is reorder status. So again, discount, this is just a multiplication. This is not so important. So this is the if function. Next, we go to the sum if. Okay. So far, the last class we studied about sum, average, count, separate. Today we learned about if separately. Next is we combine the sum and if together. That means if certain conditions are met, then the sum function will be done. Okay, so now I have here some data about different months. There are 4 people here. There are 4 people here. In 3 people. Okay, there are 3 people. And for 4 months, we have their overtime salary data. So now we will use the sum function to calculate with some criteria. Okay, so how we do that? For example, if I want to find maybe one person, maybe like Muthu or Ram, if I want to find his salary in the month of January, I can find. If I want to find the salary of Ram in the last 4 months, I can find. Or if I want to find in February who all had overtime more than 300, how much is the cost? I can find. Same way, average also we can find. Okay, so now we go one by one. So look at Ram. So how to use the sum if function. So you look at here the title, there are two formulas. some if and some ifs. What is the meaning? Some if means we add if it meets one criteria. Some ifs means many criteria you can put. Like here, the first example, I will use some if the name is Ram. But in the second example, I will do the some ifs if the month is January and the name is Ram, what is the salary? Okay, so let's look at how to do this. Okay, so the sum if formula, the structure is you need to first give what is the range. You see here equal to sum if. So you see the drop down menu, double click. You see the description here. What is the range? What is the criteria? What is the sum range? What it means? What is the range? We need to look at it. We need to look at the name. And in the name, what is the criteria? What name we need to find? So range is which column to look for. Criteria is what specific information need to look for. Sum range is add what? Add the salary. So now I'm going to give sum if the range is all the names, comma, because you see here there's a comma, so I follow the computer style. I put comma, now it is showing criteria. What is the criteria you want? I want the criteria to be Ram because I want the name to be Ram. Comma, you see automatically it changes to sum range. What should I add? I want to add all the salary of Ram. And I close the bracket. You see, I got 2,400. See whether this is correct. January, he got 900. February, he got 600. So he is 1,005. March, 700. 2,200. April, 200. So he is 2,400. Right? So this is how you use. So now I give the reference of this cell. So now instead of Ram, I want to find for 2. Okay. We see what is the change. 1,002, 1,007, 2,100 plus 300, 2,400. So we change to Ravi. It changes. You see? So Ravi is 800 plus 300, 1,100, 1,005 plus 800, 2,300. So it's very easy. You just change the name because I give the reference here about what is the formula. You see here formula. Sum if, what is the range? What should the criteria I should see here? And what is the criteria? I look at the criteria is the name here. And what should I add? So this is the formula for sum if. Any doubts on this? So important is you have to follow the formula, the description, how it shows. You see here, no need to memorize. Range. So this is the range. So I select the range. I put comma. Automatically it goes to the next one, criteria. What is the criteria? Criteria is the name in this cell. Comma. What should be added? I add this. Close the bracket and finish. Is it clear?
Okay, clear.
Okay,
Yes,
then I
sir.
will
Yes,
move
sir.
to the sum ifs. Okay, what is sum if? That means now we will learn how to use 2 criteria. I want the month to be January and I want the name to be Ram. This is just example. So later you can change it to be April with Ravi. It automatically will work. Okay, so we can try now. So how the formula works is different. You will see why. Okay, equal to sum ifs. Here you see the sum range is shown first. So you just follow the computer how the formula is prompting you. So that means the sum range you select first. Okay, I selected, comma, criteria range. What is the criteria range? I want the month, which is here. So I selected this, comma, and what is the criteria? The criteria I am going to enter here. Okay, comma, what is the second criteria range? I want it by name. So I selected the name. And what is the criteria? It should be here. I just close this. So what it means is the computer will add salary of Ram only in the month of January. So in January, Ram salary is 900. So now you can just change. Okay, I want to check for 2 in January. You see here, 1200. Maybe you change it to February. February Muthu is 500. So like this, you can use multiple criteria. How many criteria you want, you can add. Okay. Similarly, you can use February greater than 300. You can also use this. Okay. Equal to sum ifs. What to add? We want to add the salary, comma. Criteria range is the month, comma, February, here, comma, what's the second condition? Is this sorry. Here is D6 month and given by G, correct? Next is salary. Sum ifs. You want to add the sum range. So you add the salary, comma. Criteria range is the month range. You select the month range. And where is the criteria you are giving? You are giving it here. So we select the cell, comma. Then the next one we want to compare here. And what is the criteria? Greater than 300. That means in February, whatever is greater than 300, we have to add. So which is, you see in the month of February, we have 600 for Ram, 500 for Muthu, 300 for Ravi. So we want greater than 300. So we leave this. So that means Ram and Muthu's salary together is 1100. So we use this way. Is this clear? Any doubts on this? Anybody?
No, sir, clear.
Okay, fine. So it's the same way. Average and average ifs. So we don't want to spend too much time. It's the same formula, same style. Average is to find the average, right? So we use.
Yes.
So it's the same method. Instead of sum if, you will use average. So here instead of adding, they will give the average. That's the only difference. Okay, so what is the average? You can see here equal to average if what is the range? We want the name because I'm going to give the name, comma, criteria. Where is my criteria? I'm giving the name here, comma, and what is the average range? I want here the data average range. Say 600. So this is how the formulas are done. Okay. So you can use this to do in different methods. Okay. Next, we move on to the count. So now again, I have a lot of data here. I want to count the blanks, number of blanks in this data. So we use the count blank formula. You see here is equal to count blank, open bracket, and you select the data range. So it's very simple. It's equal to count blank, and you select the data range. So how many blanks in this data? 1, 2, and 3. So we have 3. Okay. So count A will tell you how many cells in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 cells are having value. So you want to find those cells with the value, you can use count A. It's equal to count A. Okay, so this is called count A. Next, we go on to if error. Again, this is very simple. We can try to use the if error. So what is if error? We can use any formula, and if there is any difficulty, if the formula is not working, what is the message to be given? So for example, I have 2 values here and I'm doing a division, simple division. And if there is an error, I'm telling that I use if and error, do the calculation. If the error is there, it should tell what is the value 0. Okay, what it means is equal to if error, I double click on it. Okay, so I am doing this divided by same. So I'm doing here. You see here, when I do the, before I go to explain, when I do the division, you see here, when I divide number by number, yes, I get a value. In this column, there is no number, it's R. R63, I cannot divide by R. So there is an error. Similarly, any number cannot be divided by 0. So there is also an error. So in this case, you can use the if error formula to help you. Instead of giving this kind of error, you can just tell to put 0. That is why we are using the if error. So you can put equal to if error, click, column 1 divided by this, comma 0. So it's 89, no problem. So now I do for this one equal to if error this divided by this, comma, 0. You see here, I can get a 0. If I don't put anything, I just put equal to this divided by this, you get this kind of error. So just to avoid this, you want to just make to 0, you can make it to 0. So far clear?
Yes, sir. Clear,
Anybody?
sir.
Okay. Any doubts, you can ask. Okay. Next is another important topic we can go, which is called conditional formatting. Okay, so before we go to conditional formatting, we can learn about basic formatting. So I think we learned before, but just we'll do a quick reference. Basic formatting, how do you do that? Okay, now I have this cell. I want to change the style. You can go and change this, right? So you can change to different style, different size. You can change to different size. I believe this one you're all familiar, right? If you want to fill with a different color, you can go and change. You want the text color to be different, you go and change. So we can do all these things. You want to make a table, you can select and change the border. So all these are formatting. Okay, so all these you have to use the format group here, which you can use to change. You want to make it bold, italics, underline. All these things you have also learned in Word, right? So it's the same concept. Alignment, all these things you have learned in the Word. So it's the very same concept that you need to apply here. Okay. Another interesting topic is the number. You see here, when I selected this cell, you look at here, it shows date. When I click here, it shows general. Okay. So each cell, there is a type we can assign, what kind of data it is supposed to hold it. Okay. So just a second. Okay. So for example, here is the date. Here I can assign this as a number. How I change? I go to here, I change to number. So that means this cell is considered as a number input. So if I type change, but it is not the correct way. You cannot add. So you should always put the correct. Is it correct that I put the name and put here as number? It's not correct. So you should not do that. Okay, so when you do this, you assign, for example, date. You see it is a date. And you can also change it, how you want to look the date. Long date, short date. You see, when I click the long date, it will change to this way. I want a short date. I want it to be here. The number. Okay, so now I selected this as number. This is general. How I apply the same format to everybody? I just select this format. So now all the cells are formatted as number. Now I have 0.00. I don't want this because this is not a currency. So I want to remove this. You see here, arrow decrease decimal. So I click on this, it decreases by 1 decimal. Click again, becomes whole number. You want to increase how many zeros? You click here, it keep going. Okay, so this is how to format this as a number. Maybe you have, for example, money, currency, 4,000, 3,000. Okay. Now I want to format this as currency. You can select the currency here. So it automatically gives you the currency format. And currency usually is in 2 decimals you can keep. But if you don't want, you can still do the same way. You can press and reduce the number of decimals. There's actually more detailed ones that you can do by changing it here, but it's very, very complicated. You can actually just go and find number, how many decimals you want. Currency, how you want to look like. Date. You see, there are so many formats you can choose from here. Whether you want the day, month, date, month, year, or you want to be this format, different formats you can choose. But usually all these are not really required so detailed. You just need to know the basic, which is here, currency, accounting, numbers, percentage, or how to change to the decimals. So this is the basic things that you need to know. Okay, I'll just pause for a while because sister is here. Take attendance. Okay, we will start. Okay, so this is the formatting. Any questions on this? Anybody have any doubts on this? So far, the formatting that I explained. Ganesh, do you understand?
Yeah, okay, sir.
How about Sabali? Sabali, do you understand the formatting just now I explained?
Sir, yes.
Okay, fine. Next, we move on to a very interesting topic called conditional formatting. So this is very useful. People like supervisor level, this is really, really useful. You can use it to highlight to you prominently in colors, so that will be helpful for you. So please pay attention, and any doubts, please ask. Okay, so now we consider the remaining days. We used this in the last class, correct? We learned about inspection remaining dates. So you can use this for maybe your lifting equipments or any audits or anything that is having a due date. Some of you even ask whether for birthday can I use? Yes, you can also use for birthday, right? You can put the name of the people here. When is their birthday for this year and how many days is balance for their birthday. So now you can use this conditional formatting to highlight to you in what certain format. For example, now I want to conditional format this to show what is the lowest value. For example, then I can use the bottom 10%. See, when I use this, automatically the lowest value is highlighted. And you can decide whether it is red color to be highlighted or what you want to change. You can click here and you can change. Okay, you see here, the lowest is highlighted. So instead of that, you want to have the highest 10% to be highlighted. You want the highlight to be green fill. See, the highest one is shown as in green field. So this is one way. Sometimes you can use certain conditions to format. So select this, go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. This is where you can give a condition. Like if formula, you can use the condition here. Highlight cells, anything, maybe I want to plan in advance, right? You want to plan an inspection or you want to plan an inventory. Later we can do the same thing in the inventory file. Okay, here we use, see, remaining days. Anything less than 30 days, I want to highlight so that I can plan my inspection in time. How do I do that? I select this, go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, that is less than, I give the value 30. And I want this to be red. Okay. So automatically it is shown in red. Now you choose this again. You can give a conditional format again, anything between. I want anything between 31 to 60 to be in orange or yellow, because this is the next due, correct? This is very close, 30 to 60 days. I want to, maybe I want to know how many is pending. You can do this. And anything greater than 60, I don't really bother. So I can put it to green. So you can see, you put now 3 criteria here. So the first criteria identified these 2 cells less than 30, it made it red. The second formula identified this cell and show as yellow. The last formula, this one is covered. So now you one look, you see, you don't need to look at the number. You open the Excel sheet, you look at it, you straight away know, oh, there are 2 items that I need to quickly follow up. Then you focus on these 2. Then this one, okay, next month I need to follow. Okay, these 2 I don't need to bother now. But when the date changes, of course, future when you change, okay, after the inspection, maybe this is remaining due. Now, suppose for example, you have already inspected. So the due date become, for example, change to 2023 because you already inspected. You see, it automatically changes to the next year, 365 plus you did 3 days in advance. So 368 days and it is green. You don't need to bother about this. So you can use this to plan all your inspections or any audits, or even maybe like some people you are using your managing your team. Maybe you have their passport expiry or work permit expiry. You can have their name here, you have their work permit expiry here. You can make this formula to manage, right? Maybe you can tell your boss, my team, 2 people going to expire, what to do. So you can use this, easy to highlight. You can also, we go back here. You see here, we use the remaining stock. We can use the same concept here, right? We can put here anything less than anything less than 25 need to highlight. So how do we do that? Go to here, less than 25, highlight. So it's very easy, you can use it. So you need to really think how to apply all these formula in your work. So that is important. That is how you get benefited from the Excel. So you think of your work where you want to use which formula, then you can apply. So straight away, one look at it, instead, even though I no need to have the reorder, yes, no. Even if this column is not there, straight away, one look at it, I know I want to order all these things. So this is the importance of a condition formatting. You can also use the data bar. Okay, I clear. How to clear this? You select all and clear rules. Clear all rules from the entire sheet. If you want it only for the selected cells, you can put clear all rules from the selected cells. So then all the formatting condition all is erased. So this is how the condition formatting works. Now you can also use the other method. Okay, now I want to use the data bar. That means whatever is the highest value will be, you can see here, I use the gradient here. You see, whatever is the highest value is fully shaded. Smallest value is smaller shade. So this is used more for financial reporting, which you may not really use, but just you can understand. Same for color scale. You can use the same method, but this is all maybe day to day you may not really use much. Okay, so it's not really very useful for you. But icon set you can use this. Maybe I will show this. Okay, I clear the formatting. You can go to the icon sets. You see here, you can use the traffic light model, or you can use the shape, which is high, which is low. You can use whether we are in the right direction or not. You can put all these conditional formatting. So how to put this? Okay, pick this. More rules. Okay, you can select here what you want. You want the flag. How to highlight the flag? When the value is greater than maybe 90, I want the green flag. When, because it say what is the type of data, it is a number. So when it is and anything between 30 to 90 is this. Okay, so automatically it shows. Anything less than 30 is shown as red. Anything above 30 to 60, 90 is shown as yellow. 90 and above is shown as green. So you can change this method. So far, is it clear? Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Anybody have any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So if it is clear, maybe I'll just go and try to explain the homework. Is that okay? What is the homework for today? We will go through. Okay. So after the class, I will be sending this material. Okay. After the class, I will be sending you this Word document, which will be your class material. You will have all these, whatever we discussed today, all these materials are here. Okay. How to use all the formula. Next, we talked about the alignment, formatting. We see here. Formatting we see here. Next, we learned about the changing the data, the cell type, which is here. The different cell types, and finally is the formatting. So all these are here. And at the last page of the material, last 2 pages is the homework. Okay, so how to read the homework? You see here, homework. We will combine all these four workbooks into one sheet. So now you are getting separate workbook, right? So next time we will send you one homework file, but it will have the tag create conditional format, create conditional formula, all are in different sheets. So you just have to open this. So first you see the file here, create conditional formulas. So okay, let me open this file. So create conditional formulas. So when you open this, you read the instruction here. In cell G3, create an if formula and test whether the value in F3 is greater than or equal to 35,000. If it is greater than 35,000, display as request discount. If not, no discount available. So I just show you an example. Okay. So what it shows is, see here, in cell G3, create an if formula. Cell G3, where is it? G3. In cell G3, you calculate a if formula to check, what need to check? Whether the value in F3 is greater than or equal to 35,000. So you have to check if the value in F3 is greater than or equal to 35,000. So this is the condition you need to test. And if it is true, what need to ask? Request discount. If not, no discount available. Okay, so you need to write equal to request discount. If not, no count. You see here, this is 44,800. So it's more than 35,000. You see, if F3 is greater than or equal to 35,000, you need to have the request discount. If not, no discount available. So that's the first step. Then what is the second step? They are saying copy the formula to the entire G3 to G14. That means up to the entire. How do you do that? You have to just use the format painter. You have to actually basically drag the formula, right? Because you are applying it to the entire formula. And you can cross check. This is less than 35,000. No discount. Less than 35,000, no discount, no discount, no discount. So it's very clear. So this is the second step. In cell I3, create a formula that finds average cost of all expenses in the cell. So you have to just same way you have to follow the instruction here. Is it clear now? So this is how you need to read the instruction in this sheet in the page 15 and 16. Then you need to look at the Excel sheet and you do each step by step. Is it clear for you? Any doubts?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Same way, the next, for example, create format cells. Okay, next one, what is it here? Format cells. So you just need to open, if it is in the same sheet file, probably you will find it here, format cells. So we will put it here. You just have to open it. And then just follow the instruction here. Here we will say, okay, change the formatting of cell B4 in 14-point bold type. So you just go to, what is that, B4, okay. You have to change it to 14. You need to change to bold. Finish. Actually, it's very easy. Just you need to understand how to read the homework and understand the question. Okay, so same way, everything is the same. You just need to read and follow the instruction in the sheet. Okay. So you try, and anything, if you have doubts, you ask. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Anybody have
Clear,
any
sir.
doubts?
Clear,
Yeah,
sir.
clear.
Okay, fine. If you have no doubts, just give me a second.